Well, wading into the debate is Iran's President Mahmoud Ahmadinejad. He says the direct negotiations in Washington are doomed to fail. Speaking at an annual pro-Palestinian rally, he lashed out at Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas. Meanwhile, one of Ahmadinejad's political rivals says his home's been surrounded by the Revolutionary Guards, preventing him from attending the Quds Day rally. Well, last year, opposition groups used the event to protest against the government. Well, that follows reports of an earlier attack on Mehdi KARROUBI'S home in Tehran. His website claims mobs smashed windows and beat up a member of the security. KARROUBI, seen on the far left, lost to Mahmoud Ahmadinejad in last year's disputed election. Ahmadinejad's win sparked mass opposition protests. Let's speak now to Potkin Azarmeher. He's an Iranian blogger, joins me now from London. Thanks so much for joining us. I understand you've been in touch with sources in Iran. What exactly happened today?
Well, this isn't the first time that KARROUBI'S house has been attacked, but the difference is that this time it wasn't just with sticks and stones and thugs writing graffiti on his house. This time they went for an all-attack. They were shooting at the house. Since 5 days ago, KARROUBI'S house has been surrounded by the Basij and by the security forces after he announced that he will be taking part in the annual Al-Quds Day, the Jerusalem Day, which was, as you said, hijacked by the Green protesters last year. This would have given a focal point to the Green movement for them to appear wherever KARROUBI is going, and this is why they wanted to prevent this. So the house was surrounded, and then last night they're really going for him. They were shooting at the house, as you said. The head of his bodyguard team, Ali Yari, who's been with him for the last 20 years. From what I've heard, he was shot in the leg, and then he was beaten up with truncheons and sticks, and he's in a critical condition in hospital at the moment.
Just to clarify the situation, though, apparently the reports say that it was the Basij, one unit of the security forces, the Basij, which attacked his home, and they were later prevented by other security forces that arrived at the scene. Is this an official attempt to target KARROUBI, or was this perhaps a rogue element of the Basij?
No, there are no rogue elements. What happened was that after the attack intensified, luckily KARROUBI'S household managed to get the news out, and they spoke to some of the media outside Iran. The news then spread out in Iran, and there were spontaneous calls for people to go towards KARROUBI'S house to protect it. This is what then frightened the regime, and this is why they called the anti-riot guards to come and be stationed outside the house and stop the clashes. They then said to KARROUBI that he's not safe in the house, and they wanted to take him to another location. However, KARROUBI resisted and saying that I'm not moving from here. And since then, KARROUBI is then issued, since the clashes stopped, KARROUBI then has asked people not to come towards his house in fear of some bloodshed happening. Right now, all the streets leading to KARROUBI'S house are now blocked and surrounded by security forces. I think this just goes to show that the regime is still scared of the Green movement, and there is a Green movement still alive in Iran. Otherwise, they would have just allowed KARROUBI to go to attend the Al-Quds parade, knowing that nothing would happen. But the very fact that they've taken these drastic measures.
Let's look at it from another perspective. Does the action by the security forces also underline just how successful they have been in paralyzing the Green movement?
Well, it depends. If you're talking about paralysing the Green movement from coming onto the streets, yes, obviously we don't have the same scale protest that we did throughout last year. But I think a movement is more than just people coming onto the streets. They know that if they don't continue with a crackdown for one day, the whole thing will get out of hands completely again. This is why they're taking these measures.
All right, we'll leave it there for now. Good to get your thoughts on it. Potkin Azarmeher.